Hi guys, this is how you know that it's that time in wedding season when I'm unwell. We've got no makeup. I don't think I brushed my hair today. I still haven't had my coffee. It is 2 p.m. I don't know what day it is, and I'm unwell. So, welcome to being a wedding planner. I love this. Like, yes, girl. Look, we love new vendors. We love working with new people, new clients. Just shoot your shot, always. Okay. I think the hardest part, I'm going to be really like vulnerable for a second. I think the hardest part on the planning side is that we're not really like human in the process. So like, there was a time a few years back when I had to attend a funeral, and it was like a really hard time for me. And it's really hard to sometimes do this job when you have like really crazy personal things happen. Like I broke an engagement and had a wedding the next day. Like it's that aspect of it and being allowed to be human, and like you have to just keep it in. Like you can't share that stuff with anyone because like they don't care. Like when I had my out of office up, like people were getting that bounce back, like that I was at a funeral and literally texting me. So like I would say, like for the planners, I think that aspect is super hard, where it's like, we just can't share and be human like that sometimes. So this one's gonna be two part because I'm gonna do one from like the client side. I think that like for the clients, the hardest part of planning is I feel it's threefold. It's managing your expectations and your budget expectations. I feel there's a paralyzing fear with clients sometimes where they think they're going to make the wrong decision. And a lot of people like agonize over things and there's like a lot of indecision. And I understand that. But yeah, I would say that that's a really hard thing for people to get over. And then I think that sometimes there's a lot of outside dynamics affecting what people think and do. And I sometimes think it's coming from close friends and family, and like managing those people is difficult, especially if they're paying for the wedding. So I would think that's the threefold answer for the client. Yeah, I'm gonna mention it all today. So yeah, this has happened. And honestly, I don't understand as a adult when you're not like a rational human being, especially if you're on the Northeast coast. Like we're all aware that the weather here is highly unpredictable. I make that super clear throughout the whole process to everybody. You know me, like I am a manifester. I want everything to be positive, but I also like to be a good planner. You have to be slightly pessimistic and like warn everybody about like worst case scenarios. So there was a wedding in 2023 where I essentially had to swim there because like the subways shut down. It like flooded in the city and Brooklyn, and the wedding was indoor in Brooklyn. But the bride was super upset that she couldn't get some outdoor shots, which by the way, she ended up getting. And she was kind of a terror to everyone that day. And by the way, I literally came back to the city after pulling the plug on somebody and revolved the funeral around the wedding. And then she was mad that it rained. So, I mean, just to elaborate, like sometimes people really, it's like I could say it till I'm blue in the face 100 times. Like we got recorded Zooms, we got everything in writing, and people will be like, "It's gonna rain," and it's like, well, yeah, that's an outcome. Yeah. So, like when you do an outdoor wedding, or if you have some grandiose idea in your head of how you want every single thing to look, you need these stunning outdoor photos. Like you always have to keep in mind like that could end up not being what it is. And guess what? Rain photos, I love them. I even told this bride when she was having like epic meltdowns to me and the photographer about not getting outdoor shots. I'm like, babe, you can put on the wedding dress another day and go outside and take some pics. Like it's about marrying the love of your life. Like I feel like sometimes we're really forgetting that in this process. It is about not having to be back on Hinge. Hello, celebrations, okay? Celebrations. Yes, 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 yes. We had a very famous Supreme Court justice who is a queen actually say words during the wedding ceremony, and I had to work with her security team for months for her to even enter the premise. There was a lot of things that I had to deal with. So, and I've had to do that on more than one occasion with like a notable person coming with a security detail. Like they've got to scout the space. It's like a whole thing. And honestly, it's really surreal sometimes when you meet some of these people and they're really, really nice, but also sometimes don't meet your heroes, But like for the most part, I've had like 10 out of 10 experiences and it's been great and fun. I don't even know how to answer this one. No, I don't think like the venue is not dumb, and people try to game it sometimes. Like they are literally counting when they are putting the food out, like, okay, we had 70 steaks, like how come we're short, it's like So like you're not getting away with things if you try to game the system. I promise you guys. Like I've had this conversation with a lot of clients when they're like, let's just put like, three under because we're not sure. I'm like, okay, you're gonna get charged eventually if they show up. Like it's not really something where like they're not gonna notice. But yeah, like they're counting. I've had situations where we're like perfectly set up the day of the wedding, and then all of a sudden, one table is like, we need an extra chair in a setting, and I'm like, this person wasn't on the guest list. So like it has happened. I don't think it's friends. It's usually actually like older family members that just roll up. Um, but yeah, like it gets caught. It gets found out.